Prosecutors, said in a Los Angeles courtroom on Thursday, April 23, 2026, that singer David, legal name David Anthony Burke, had a significant amount of child pornography on his iPhone and iCloud. Deputy District Attorney Beth Silverman cited that material as key evidence in the case against him, part of 20 to 40 terabytes of digital data pulled from his devices, cloud accounts, wiretaps, and body camera footage. Under California law, prosecutors said they must follow specific protocol to turn over child sexual abuse material to the defense. David, 21 years of age, was arrested April 16, 2026 and pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder, continuous sexual abuse of a child under 14, and unlawful mutilation of human remains. The charges relate to 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who was last seen going to his Hollywood Hills home on April 23, 2025. Prosecutors allege he began a sexual relationship with her at 13 and killed her after she threatened to expose it. Her dismembered remains were found in September 2025 in the trunk of his impounded Tesla. The medical examiner ruled her death a homicide from multiple penetrating injuries. David Anthony says the evidence will show he didn't kill Rivers and wasn't the cause of her death, and claimed they had received almost no discovery from prosecutors as of Monday. He appeared in court in an orange jumpsuit and showed no visible reaction when the child porn allegation was mentioned. A preliminary hearing, to determine if the case goes to trial was postponed to May 1st, 2026 at the defense request. It's really a sad one for late Celeste Rivers. Yeah. First of all, people are saying that the parents of Celeste, they also need to be punished too, because how do you allow your 13 years old child, to travel, travel from another state to someone who is older than you, someone who's an adult? Don't you think the family also, played a huge role in allowing what has happened to her?
I think the family is to be blamed to a large extent, because the story is both emotional and I don't know, but I feel that the family has a large amount of blame, because how do you leave your 13-year-old teenager to travel and you didn't notice you didn't notice for the first 2 hours of her absence?
I mean, they were dating for over a year.
They were even dating.
Yeah.
I think parents should do a lot about this sexual child abuse stuff. It's getting way out of hand. Parents should just look for a way to teach their children, talk to them. Most times, most families I've seen, they just give their children iPads and off they go to wherever they are going to, but not strictly monitoring the child. I've heard a lot of child abuse cases lately, and it's beginning to give me a burden that I don't really understand. As a parent, your first assignment, aside your personal goal, since you've decided to give birth to a child, one of your assignments is to train that child. Proper upbringing. Okay, if she was trained properly, she would have communicated to her parents that this is what's happening in my life, and they would have an idea of what to do next. From 2 years old, I feel a child, whether a boy or a girl, should be taught everything he or she needs to know about any pertaining sexuality. Like, they should be taught. And another thing is, parents should pay attention to these children. You're not just a parent because you gave birth to a child. You're a parent because you have to groom that child, so the society so the child would be a good person in the society. For instance, if the parents of this Celestina were vigilant, they would have noticed. She would have come to say, Mom, this is what's happening in my life. This friendship is no longer there. Children now tend to fall back to the hands of their friends than their parents, and which is not a right thing to do. They should build a relationship with their kids. If this relationship was built, she would have opened up to somebody. It might not be her mom, it might be her dad. The whole thing is very disheartening. I'm not happy about it.
I'm talking about.
Okay, you're talking about what?
Go on.
But I feel David here, the evidence that they've shown from his iCloud and other things, they should not take this case lightly, and everything should be like the whole story, the whole court proceedings should also be played online for people to see. It should not be something they should hide under the box. This has come to the public, and it's now part of a it's now a public case where everybody has to put an eye to this. And this should serve as an eye opener to parents in Nigeria and whatever part of the world you are, because things are changing. People are no longer as good as we thought they are. Right now, like, everybody is a suspect. Even their uncles, their auntie, everybody is a suspect. When it comes to child training, everybody is a suspect. No, there's not. And another thing too is, you see a child like running away from, like, okay, first how do they call it? First affection. You want to make sure your child loves your brother or loves. You see a child is withdrawing from an uncle, you not ask what's happening. Why are you behaving this way towards him? Instead, you'll be forcing that child. He's your uncle. Can't you greet him? Go and hug him. You don't know. Children are very observant, and they would not want to talk because they are scared. So you as a parent, you have to be careful. Pay attention to details. Not even this slightest things. Pay attention to them, because these children are the future we have. You bring a dysfunctional child to the society, it affects everybody. Now imagine this David, if, I don't know if he actually did it, we don't know for sure, but they should also check his family. So there's something about family and actions too. They should ask questions. There are some it would be that maybe there are some psychological dysfunction there too as well. So I feel this case is just heartbreaking.
I'm talking about David. Her remains were found in his impounded Tesla truck, and it has been established that he had a relationship, and he still pleaded not guilty to the case. Do you think by any chance that he might not just be guilty, or does he look guilty?
I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, from what you see.
It's obvious that he's guilty. It's obvious, very obvious. The remains are in not someone else's car, your car. The iClouds, the footages they've gotten. What do you mean? I feel, I'm not a lawyer, but I leave that to them. I don't want to say much, but I feel every finger is pointing to him, because he has come out to say that they were in a relationship. So what happened? Do you want to tell us that somebody killed her and dropped her in your car? Is that the explanation you want to give to us? Please, they should just, I don't want to say there's something I want to say, but it will sound rude. Let's just end it here. But I feel all fingers are pointing to him. And
I'm still talking about this issue. I mean, people are also crying out that we haven't seen a lot of the musicians come out to talk about this whole issue. Everybody's staying away from it. They are quiet from it. I mean, people are asking that, is this a common thing in the American music scene, where you have underage relationship with people? Because if everybody's so quiet about this, we haven't seen. That
means there's something fishy.
Yeah. So what do you think about that whole issue?
I feel that they're not coming out. It's not a good thing. It's a very bad sign that something we do not know. Something what we do not know, it's happening behind the scene. And for the fact that this I think it's mostly for the female, in fact both genders are to come out and talk about it. But
isn't it surprising that, like you call them, females are they are quiet.
And the whole thing is disturbing. I'm not even in America, but I feel you know what a 13-year-old child is. Do you know how innocent that child is? So the innocence of that child is even, I'm feeling emotional. How be it people there that they are celebs that people are looking up to. They're just quiet about the whole thing. I feel there's something happening behind the scene that we do not know about. I feel David is not just the only person that has done something like this. For them to be quiet like this, that means that a lot of things are happening. Maybe people don't want to come out, because when they come out to say, they say you have your own. Sometimes people don't come out to say things because they'll feel when you say it, somebody would have something to say about you, or maybe a child can even come out like that uncle too. That's what I feel. There's something happening behind the scene that they are not telling us. So I feel that they should come out and talk about this, because it's a very bad. It's very heartbreaking. It's very hard, and this should serve as a sign to parents. Do not take your child's do not take your child your responsibility as a parent for granted. You have to be in charge. Know what that child is up to. How do you mean that a child is in a relationship, a 13-year-old child, and the parents were not aware until she died? That's to show how the whole negligence thing is, it's increasing as the day goes by.